Charles is listening in Mexico City, but Charles, thank you for doing so. You're on the air.
Thank you, Eddie. What a pleasure, my friend. Eddie, thank you so much for all you do. You have the greatest job in the world, I guess. And this was so much great music done 30, 40 years ago, and you bringing it back. It's just amazing. Thank you for that, Eddie. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, you see, I was in Vegas last weekend, and I got to see Aldo Nova. It was a small venue at the Golden Nugget. You probably been there before?
Oh, downtown at the little theater there?
Yeah, a little theater.
Was it just
Aldo
him?
Nova. Yeah, just Aldo Nova, and it was amazing. All I can say about Aldo, he was his birthday. He was 68 years old last week, and he's playing like, oh my God, he's so good. And you know, the funny thing about Aldo is that he's not that popular. Well, here in Mexico, he's not popular at all. But in the States, I thought he was going to be like so popular and all, but he's not that popular. I don't know why. I know he's been missing. He's been gone for quite some time. That's my question. I mean, what has he been doing for so long? How come he took so long to come back? And
yeah, Charles, I'm shocked that he play. I know that theater downtown. What was the turnout like there?
Well, it was a small venue. Most of the guys, I don't know, probably hold.
It's a theater, though. It's a theater. It's the theater in Golden Nugget, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's called the Showroom.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah.
I think if it's the same place I'm thinking of, it's a decent-sized theater, though, right?
Well, yeah. It is kind of small, though. It is kind of small. Okay. I don't know. Maybe fits around 400 people, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, but like I said before, I mean, those guys play like unbelievable, my friend. I mean, Aldo, Jack Frost, Dario, these guys are amazing. And that's my question. Where were these guys all this time?
Well, you know, Charles, I mean, again, I'm just going to be completely straight with you. And I've had Aldo on this show a couple times, and I know his band and I know him. And I've seen them play a couple times since he started up again. Thank you, Charles. You know, Aldo Nova dropped out in terms of being a touring rock artist for a long time, you know, for 20, 30 years. And he was a songwriter. You know, CELINE Dion has done his songs. He did very well as a songwriter. He was very aligned with John Bon Jovi at one point. So he was living in Canada, you know, being a songwriter, a producer, doing well. And it's only been in the last 5-7 years that he decided he was going to start trying to go out there and play live again and play as himself and put a band together. But when you say, why isn't he bigger? Why doesn't more people turn up to these shows? Again, just being totally straight with you, I am not shocked at all that there would not be a turnout, because, and whenever I say stuff like this is nothing about ever whether the artist is good or not, or the songs are good, or the band is good, but he is not well known in America. You talk about not known in Mexico City. He is not. He is known in the U.S. for one song that is over 40 years old. That's it. Fantasy. Was it 81? Something like that. So he is, and again, this is not a knock. This is just the truth. He is what is known as a one-hit wonder. Did he make other good songs and records? Yes. But do people know them? Were they hits? No. So just think about it. One hit 43 years ago, doesn't really get played much still on like regular classic rock rotations here and there. No hits for 43 years. And by the way, dropped out like 30 years. And here you are in 2024. I mean, it's impossible. So I give him credit for going out there, and I'm not saying it's not good at what he does, but my point is it's incredibly difficult, and I would not be surprised to know that it's going to be an extremely tough sell. Now, what I would do if I was him is I would absolutely couple up with 1, 2, 3 other artists from that era and do a package tour. Or I would even look at a scenario where instead of putting together and a lot of guys do this, instead of putting together your own band and carrying around all that infrastructure and that expense, find one or two other artists that are in the same level category as far as having one or two hits, get one band. I've seen a lot of bands do this. It's very smart. Or artists do this. You get one band. Say you're going to do, say it's 3 artists, right? And all of them are going to do 5 songs. Well, that one band you hire, guitar, bass, drums, keyboards, say, they learn all 15 songs. So I don't know, say it's John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band and whoever else and Aldo Nova. So that set band knows all the songs, and then the one guy comes out, does 3, 4, 5 songs, the next guy, and the band stays the same. Saves you a ton of money, and the other thing it does is it is more interest for the audience, and it keeps the audience engaged, because when you're an artist that's touring, and if people know you at all, they know one song, and you're doing a 65, 70-minute set, for the other 65 minutes of that 70-minute set, 90% of those people are tuned out waiting for that one song. I have seen it. Anyone's being honest with you, I've seen it. Now, of course, some of these artists have, even if they only had one hit, they have fans that know the whole catalog, and every once in a while you do a regular show for them. But in terms of touring and drawing people, you gotta couple up. I just was just at that event I did a couple weeks ago in Cancun, the Sands. John Cafferty played and Cherie Curry played. Both of them used the same band. Both of them did exactly that. They went in and they played 2, 3 songs with the same band and then left. Makes sense, right? Because most people would be tuned out, and that artist doesn't want to take on that expense. So, I understand artists want to be artists, and they want to do their thing, and they want to have their own band and play their own stuff, but sometimes it just doesn't make sense from a draw standpoint, a fan interest standpoint, an expense and overhead standpoint, a booking standpoint. It's a hard thing to do. So, it's good that he's out there doing some stuff, but it's a really, really hard thing when you got one hit that everyone knows and it was over 40 years ago. You got bands out there that have 4 or 5 hits that are still, doing club level business if they're lucky. Or, marginal size hits. So, it's a tough business, and it's a hard thing to navigate sometimes. It's a hard thing to accept where things are at, but that's my take on it. All right. We're done for the week.